Hi again, this is Lisa, the sewing lady from Pinellas Park, Florida, United States of America. Today is the day. We are going to start pinning our dress together. For you guys, it's your shirt. Yeah, I'm counting you in on this one. Gonna use the same gig for guys as girls. You just gotta pin a little different. Hope you got someone helping you with the pinning. I have done this pinning by myself. I don't always like the outcome. So I highly suggest try having some help you. If you don't have someone to help you, do it slowly, try it on. It may take you 3 or 4 times to get it right, but once it's right, then you've got somewheres. I did mention before about having a pen on hand to make little markings. If you don't have a pen, a crayon will do, piece of charcoal, pencil sometimes, but only you can see it. Just remember that it can be hard to see depending on what color fabric you have. But you will need one at some point doing this. Okay, as I told you guys, Annie is going to be helping us. You guys remember my friend Annie? Hi, we're best buds. And I'm actually trusting her with pins on my body. Yeah, kind of scary because she's not a sewer. Yeah. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take the front and put it aside for a minute. We're going to start with the back. Now I'm going to show you something about my back. I don't know if you all did it on yours, but if you see, there's this big wide piece here. This is the piece you put on, so just in case your measurements weren't quite accurate or you gained weight. I lost weight, so my measurements for this isn't exactly me, so pinning is going to be a lot of fun. But this is that extra you want to hang on to. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the pins off the pattern. That's always fun. I love getting rid of pins. And because my table is so ample and it's got all kinds of space, I just throw mine off there because I have a magic tool. I have to show you it too because everybody loves it. I think I've shown it to you before, but it doesn't hurt to see it twice. 3 times, maybe 20 times, who knows? But this little baby, the magic wand, it's a magnet. Hardware store, not sewing store, hardware store. It bends. It reaches way down, and look what it does. Bing, 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 bing. And there they are. Oh, one fell. Thread got in the way. And they're all there. That spares me a lot of work. There's nothing worse than trying to pick these little babies up when your fingers feel like sausages. Think. Alright. We took the back one off. Oh, one more pin. Old buggers hide, you know. Put our pattern aside. Now, one piece at a time. In my case, I'm going to leave this outer. Tell you, pins are always hiding. I'm going to leave this on the outside. So it's going to be right at the dead center. Hopefully, maybe not. But Annie's going to pin it to my dress. I know, this is where she's scary. Alright, Annie, turn around. They're behind you. They hide. Told you they hide. Alright. You see where my seam line is on my dress, right? You want to make it so it's a little bit over that. So it'll probably be about there. But you know what? Maybe we should change this a minute. And now we're going to unpin the front part. Again, pins, pins, pins. We're getting rid of them. There's one for me, one for you. One for me, One for you. And of course, one for me. Yeah, I had less pins in this one. I don't know why. Sometimes it just happens that way. When you sew a lot more, you'll use a lot less pins. Go figure. And pattern. By the way, do not throw this pattern away. You will want it at some point, so keep it in a good place. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do on my fabric one is I am going to write front on this piece, and we're going to do back on the other ones, and we're going to do it the right way, which would be this is going to be the back, right, and this is the back left. Don't ask me how I figured this part out, but it might help if we got them going the right direction. And then back left. You want to do this so you don't lose track. And yeah, it does make a difference which one goes where. Alright. Annie is going to help me pin. You guys all remember Annie. We're best buds.
Hi.
And of all the people in the world, I would trust her with a pin. But you know, you gotta have help. Nah, she's okay at stuff like this. It's just she doesn't sew. What can I do? So, this is where the fun begins. Now, the best way to do this is just throw the front one over like this for the moment. Okay? Get it so it's not all messed up. You notice center crease? Very good. So, we're going to do this. And then Annie is going to put pins in these so we have a seam that's going to stand up, not go in, like we're pinning the outside. So we first got to get it lined up, and then she can pin it. Just keep my fingers out of it, Annie. You know how I love them.
You're a brave woman.
I know, I'm very brave. Alright, maybe we should do it from here so you guys can get an idea of what Annie's doing.
Another one?
Yeah, but you have the head going that way.
This way?
Yeah. Keeps. If you had the pins done the way we're doing it right now, you'll see that I will get poked as easily. Okay, I'm just going to change the one pin a little bit because we need to come out a little further. Hopefully we don't need a third pin. There. Ta-da! Then we put the other one on. Gotta turn a bit here so you guys can really see things. I know poor Annie, she's like, what?
What am I doing?
What am I doing? It's so much fun trying to show people something while you're on camera. Difficult. You don't realize how much it does. Ah. And of course, you know, I cut the neckline pretty high. So look at it, it's already way up here. Poor girl. I'm gonna
You're
put her
a
through her
brave woman.
paces. I'm putting her through her paces. This is what she gets for having a month off. A month and a week, because we didn't have her on last week either. Usually she sits in on every camera, but you know, we have to give her time off or they get cranky.
Wait a minute.
The
God.
fabric is fighting her, wouldn't you know?
I'm trying to save my fingers.
Oh, a little blood
And not
on this.
impale
would-
you.
A little blood on this would be normal.
Oh
I'm
my,
here to tell you, if you can
oh my
pin,
dear lady.
if you can pin these on, and not get blood. You're doing great.
I am not going to get blood. Not for me.
Oh, get blood. It's always good. It's part of the sewing rituals, you know.
Ta-da.
There!
Ta-da.
We got it! We got it! Now, take a look. Alright? This is why I chose this fabric. Now, this is a pretty narrow seam we've got running here. But when you look at it, you can already tell, even if she pins that back piece in. I got wings. You don't want wings when you don't need wings. So we have to pin deeper. Okay? So she's got to bring me in quite a bit. Yeah. All the way down to here. See where my fingers are pinching?
Oh dear.
Right below them. It's easier to see it from the front.
It's easier to impale you from the front, too.
Alright. I'll tell you what. I will do it. Only because it's only my
It didn't
finger.
go through to the other side.
Oh, of course.
Back.
Okay, I kind of thought it went easy, but you see where I'm going now, right? Alright. Here. Now my thumb's out of the way.
Thank you. There.
Alright. Now take a look. Just take a look. See? There's no wing action here. And that's because I got a bit of a slanted down shoulder. And some of you don't. Some of you, straight out, you're fine. Some of you, little angle. People like me, big angle. It happens. But this is why you want to make this. Because guess what? This is fitting. This is fitting you. It's very important it fits you. Doesn't have to fit me. It's got to fit you. This is where all this comes in. Now we're going to pin the other side. So Annie's going to give me a pin and I'm going to wing it. Ha ha. Only because I have done this before by myself. But yes, it is helpful if somebody else is there. When it comes to the side seam, believe me, I'd rather somebody else did that one. So now you can see, look at how much fabric difference that is. And one side might even be bigger than the other. Because everybody has one shoulder lower than the other. Now, bigger problem. If you have a big difference between the two, you have to modify. And modifying would require maybe a very, very thin shoulder pad on one side, and the other side would have like almost nothing. You have to have two. You can't have just one because it'll look funny. And if you got too much difference, you don't want people really noticing, oh my God, she's tilting. No, so you don't do that. Alright, now the next part that comes up is the underarm. Good thing I used deodorant today.
Thank you.
Everybody appreciates that moment. And then you start to pin.
Like
Now,
this. Like that.
but you want to pin it closer to me.
Like that.
Put two fingers away from my side and then pin outside of that. You can
Over
do
here?
it up and down with the head on the top.
Oh, dear
I know, a lot of particular stuff. The reason we do this, oh wait a minute, let's make sure we're balanced. See, it's one reason I had that seam left in the front. There. What?
Should this, okay. Is that right?
No, you're going to pin it out. Okay. For those of you that are having the same problem Annie's having, where's my bottom seam?
Right
Okay.
here.
What you end up doing is you're pinning, match them up. Magic a camera, okay, no table, was in the way, and we kind of fixed the pinning job that we did. It's really hard to sometimes to get it exactly the way you want. So we went back and we redid it off camera. I'm sure all of you novices are going to run into the same problem Anne had. It is hard to pin on a person. But she's very brave to be helping me, as brave as I am, to let her pin that close to me. But we proceed. Alright, now we're back at trying to get the underarm. Now remember that the curves in that, remember you're supposed to meet the armholes. And you want it to be pinned in a little bit close to you, like 2 fingers width away from your body is good enough. And I'm just going to pull this over and aggravate you, but I'm trying to keep the center point where it is. One nice thing about pressing that front piece, you got a center line that goes down the front. You want to go with that because it will make this much easier in making sure that both sides fit. Now, we go to the other side. This time you really get to see what she's doing. And yes, my ballerina days. See? You can hold the arm up. By the way, physical therapy, great thing. If you believe the dress I made over 2 months ago, my arms are too big for. Pump it up. All right. Now, we're this far. And this is close, okay? But this is close as I would ever want it to be. When we get down towards the hips, well, first of all, I think we're going to have her pin the back. Now, we want to go center down, which is my spine. And she already knows that.
Start at the top.
Yep, start at the top, pin head at the top, and then just go down. She's got a line to work with. If you don't have a line to work with, just try to pin it evenly down. Mine has a lot of width to it because I wanted to make sure we had enough room for, hips, waist, the part of me that's bigger. Sometimes you kind of skimp and then you go to sit down and guess what? It doesn't look good. And I really hate to have that big wrinkle around my belly because it's like a big eat it Joe signs that I've got fat. I don't need to advertise. I already know it's there. Why should everybody else know? You know it. So I guess everybody else does. But pinning this usually does take a little bit of time. So always figure to give yourself time to do this. It pays off. All this pinning pays off. When we're done, you're going to have a dress pattern or shirt pattern that fits. Fitting is like the most important thing I could teach you. If I can't teach you anything else, this is the big part. Because there are so many different things our body does to our clothes. And we need to make sure that it fits comfortably.
How far down?
And just past my butt. At the moment, we don't have to worry about the hem yet. That's a long ways off.
Okay, this will be the last one.
Okay. Alright, now the fun begins.
Done.
Alright, now this is a nice close on me at the bust. When we get to my waist, I like a little more room. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Annie do this about 4 fingers from my actual body. So what you end up doing is, well, pretty close, aren't we? What part didn't I lose in? You guessed it. This is my hips. So we're going to leave it out here. And this is why we try this on a few times. So just pin it. Make sure this isn't all twisty. Okay. As you can see, my cutting skills lack, but that was before I got the new scissors. Yes, I bought them at an auction, and they're probably 60 years old, and they cut so wonderfully.
Up here too?
Yes, but you can come in a little bit on this.
There.
You want to angle down from where you have this one, so, because basically the dress is going to be an A-line.
There.
Okay, for those girls who want to have a dress really tight to their bodies, first of all, you can pin it, but remember, standing pin and sitting pin are two different things. So you definitely want to have enough room so when you sit down you don't look like you got poured into your dress. Some people look good that way. I would have to say most of us who hit the size 16 or bigger, not so much. You know, it's true. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a 20. Alright. Now when I go to sit down, I probably, yes, you get to see all my blankets that I leave sitting on my chair. See, this is one shawl, this is another shawl. You never know which one you're going to want. Okay, when I go to sit down, I'm going to pull the pins way out like this. Alright? So when I sit down, I have a pretty nice amount of fabric still here. It's not tight at all. I probably have, maybe about 4 inches ease beyond my sitting size. And to me, that's comfortable. To some people, it might get a little slimmer. That's your personal preference. This is a dress I'm doing, but while we're doing this, you don't have to stay doing A-line like mine. If you want it to come down straight, bring it down straight. It's just a matter of allowing for the parts of you that are in there. You want to make sure that you got enough room. And always keep in mind that sitting measurement may not be the same one you had standing up. I know mine's a pretty big difference, 5 inches. Still, lose weight, doesn't seem to change. Not fair. But once you have this pinned, at this point, you want to take a look. Okay, for me, yes, my neckline is way too high. And this is where the pen comes in. Now, what we're going to do is I am going to use a real pen, which may not show up on camera. So later on, I will probably take a marker to it off camera so you can really see what I'm doing. But right now, this is where we decided the bone is that we start at. And I left mine at that height. And to be quite honest, this is where the bra starts. Alright? I don't want it down in my bra because I don't want to show it off. But I don't want it so high that I can't breathe. So, I'm going to move it right about here, which is about as low as this girl goes. I know. I'm a prude. But I'm going to put a little dot right there, because eventually I'm going to make it round so it works. Now I got the same problem in the back. Now, I'm going to point this out to you. See how my back sits? I have what's called rounded shoulders, and I bet most of you have the same problem. You need to cut it a little lower in the back. Don't go too low, probably measure, measure, measure. You know, whenever you look for a measuring tape and you can't find one, ruler. Probably about 2 inches. You can go down in the back. Now when you do this 2 inches, it's going to be at the very center back, just like I did this at the center front. Okay? And then we're going to do that really nice rounded edge and bring it around. It's not too hard. Sometimes for some people, if you can find a large enough container to do it with, it'll go from shoulder point to center here. You can just take around and do it that way. I like the shape a little bit in the front, you know, not quite a U, but not really a flat either. You know, it looks good. And that's the neckline you want to have. If you want to do a V, you can do a V at this point, but pick this point here first. Then you can work backwards from there to the shoulder seam. So if you decide to go a V, you would take it, and the point was there, and then you bring it in right up here where this is, and then that's how you would get a V. You be very careful when you do it, so it comes out right. The best way to do it though is to fold your fabric back in half, and then make that one pencil mark with it, and then cut that. That way you know they'll be even. Very important, you don't want an oddball going there. Unless you want one of those funky asymmetricals. Have at. It's your choice. Now, we got this side seam down to my hips. Okay, at this point, girls, when you take it down any lower, this is where you get that big choice. Do I want it tight? Do I want it wide? Whatever. Make that decision at this point right now. For me, I'm just going to have Annie pin it the rest of the way down, straight out. And for us, that's good enough. That style dress, it works for me. What can I say? It's quick, it's easy, throw it over the head. You're ready for the day, boom. There's a lot of things you can do with this. You know, I mean, if your person likes a waistline to it, you can make an elastic waistline for it, which I'll teach you how to do that. Or you can just belt it. It still looks good. And I know some of my bigger dresses, if I could wear belts, they'd be belted by now. But I'm just going to go with the theory of, I lost weight, I'm getting a new wardrobe. I think every woman should do that every so often. You know, just new wardrobe. For me, I have to sew it. It takes a little longer. But that's me. Not everybody has to go through that. We got everybody on that side?
Mm-hmm.
No, we want to finish this side. Match them up. Annie is doing a very good job considering.
No casualties yet.
Yep. Nobody's been bleeding yet. This is good. I have hopes for her. She says she's not going to learn to sew, but you know. How long does that happen around me? Everybody learns something. Even if it is just pinning. At least she'll know how to do some of this stuff by the time we're through. What do you think of that? Alright, we're all the way down to the bottom. Alright, now, do I want to make any changes? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Right in here, for me, it feels a little too wide. So, Anne's going to come in, and she's going to taper it in like about this much.
New pins or move?
Nope, you're gonna new pins. New pins. You always want to leave your other pins out just in case this fitting seems too tight when you sit down, because everything gets the sit down test. If it doesn't pass the sit down test, then it's got to be let out again. And she's just going to do that section, and then we'll move down farther. But we'll just do it on each side. And this way, we're getting a little bit more fitted. So the shape of this is going to come down and out.
There.
Okay, now that sit down test. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of room here. Comfy enough room, but see, that much. I did tell you I lost weight. Alright, not bad. Now, as we go down from there, you notice that the dress doesn't look quite right. This is where we put angle pins in, and we angle out. This is where things are comfy on me, okay? So Annie's going to put pins, and they're just going to angle out to this guy here, because this is about where my hips are, give or take. So that way I know where I want to do this.
Start.
We're going to start from where this one is. We're just going to angle them out to that one.
Gotcha.
We may end up taking that side seam in a little bit more. It depends. Have my doubts on some of my measurements because I lost the weight. And I might like it a little tighter this time. You know, you lose weight, you start thinking about these things. Isn't it amazing? Yes, see? Annie does know how to do this stuff. She's been hiding it from me again. Alright. Coming down to this one. Wait a minute, did we? Yeah. Yeah, coming down to that one. Hard to tell sometimes when you're looking at this stuff. Even, you know, even I have to look several times. So don't think it is just because you're new at it. You want to look, and re-look. I will probably look in the mirror and see if this works. Now, as far as I can feel it, it feels okay. When I take it off and I check to see how the seams sit, if they go like this and like this, no, that's not going to work. So we may end up just bringing her in and coming down. Now, that's what most people would like to do with their dress. Okay? Me, I don't know. I've been in big baggy dresses for so long, maybe it's time I got out of them. So that's why I'm debating on how narrow I should make this. But at this moment, it's about where I think it should be. Now, we're going to take a moment here, and we're going to point out, we did, during the break we took, we did kind of handle the wing action up here. And I want to go back to it only because your dress, everything, all the weight of your dress hangs off of these two seams. Everything is just more weight going down. So, if your dress is going to fit right, you want to make sure this seam is your best seam. You want to make sure that it's fitted correctly. Your next thing is that you should recognize, if you notice, I've got my armhole way up here. Mine needs to be trimmed down just a little bit. But I am so tired of these dresses that have to show my bra. It isn't funny. I mean, come on. How many of you really like showing your bra? I mean, isn't it supposed to be covered? I thought so. I know, there's a thing about letting your bra straps show, but even then, you get to be an older woman and you got these big wide ones. There is nothing sexy about them. It's just the truth. I don't know why anyone wants to show them. And if you watched last week, you saw how we learned to hide them. So for those that didn't watch last week's, you better watch it. Okay, not so bad. At this point, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to take this off so I can show you more things. And this is where we're going to stop, because the next part is going to be rechecking everything, and possibly, who knows, we might just do a little sewing here and there just to make sure everything's where it belongs. Plus, we'll work on shaping our back neck and shaping our front neck. I think it's something you might want a little help with. All right. Now, you have to remember to hit the like, and then you want to subscribe, which is for free. Don't forget that. It doesn't cost a dime. And then you want to hit the notification bell so you get notified of future videos. And be really, really, really nice of all of you. Please put a nice comment in about Annie. She tries very hard and she's so cute. And I don't know if I could do all this without her. She's a big help. So please, some comments. And I beg of you, please send some comments into the Lisa Sewing Lessons group, because I'm sure your question will be as important to you as it will be to other people who might be a little shy about asking a question. So please do that, and remember, what's given freely, I give freely to you. Thank you.